John Keats' Ode on a Grecian Urn. Keats has created a Greek urn in his mind and has decorated it with several images. On the urn, there are figures of people who have been frozen in place for all of the time as the foster child of silence and slow time. Keats' imagined urn is addressed as if he were contemplating a real urn. It has survived intact from antiquity. It is a Sylvan historian telling us a story, which the poet suggests by a series of questions. Who are these gods or men carved or painted on the urn? Who are these reluctant maidens? What is the mad pursuit? Why the struggle to escape? What is the explanation for the presence of musical instruments? Why this mad ecstasy? Personification. The poet addressed the urn as bride of quietness and sylvan historian. You soft pipe play on, as if pipe and urn are humans that can perform certain acts. Apostrophe is a device to call somebody from afar. The poet addresses the urn, the pictures painted on the urn, and the lovers engraved on the urn. End rhyme. End rhyme is used to make the stanza melodious. Keats has used end rhyme in this poem such as in the first and second lines of the first stanza. The rhyming words are time, rhyme, both, lot. Here we see a youth in a grave playing a musical instrument. The poet urges the musician pictured on the urn to play on. His song can never end, nor the trees ever shed their leaves. The lover on the urn can never win a kiss from his beloved, but his beloved can never lose her beauty. Keats can take pleasure in the thought that art gives a kind of permanence to reality. Symbolism. Plants and trees are the symbols of youth, and the spring urn is the symbols of time and life. Paradox. Heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard pipe to the spirit duties of Newton, implying melodies are heard by the spirits and not by the ears. Happy are the trees on the earth, for they can never lose their leaves. Happy is the musician, forever playing songs forever new. The lovers on the earth enjoy a love forever warm, forever panting, and forever young, far better than actual love, which eventually brings frustration and dissatisfaction. Anaphora. It refers to the repetition of any word or expression in the initial part of the sentence, such as forever in the first two lines and happy in the last two lines. Synecdoche. A figure of speech in which a part is meant to represent the whole. Keats has used this device to express the downside of natural love as he has used the words burning love, that is fever, and parching tongue, that is thirst. Metonymy. It's a figure of speech that replaces the names of things with something is closely associated. Here, it links the man's heart to his feelings of being high, sorrowful, and cloyed. Who are the people coming to perform a sacrifice? To what altar does the priest lead a garlanded heifer? What town do they come from? The town will forever remain silent and deserted. In this stanza, on Keats's urn is a group of people on their way to perform a sacrifice to some god. Consonance is the repetition of the consonant sounds in the same line of poetry, such as the sound of L in will silent be and not a soul to tell, and N sound in all breathing human passion far above. Fair urn, Keats says, adorned with figures of men and maidens, trees and grass, you bring our speculations to a point at which thought leads now here like meditation on eternity. After our generation is gone, you will still be here a friend to man, telling him that beauty is truth and truth is beauty. That is all you knows on earth and all you needs to know. The final stanza contains the most controversial line in all the criticism of Keats's poetry. In this stanza, Keats makes two main comments on his urn. His thought of truth-beauty equation and eternity in art. Assonance is the repetition of the vowel sounds in the same line of poetry, such as the sound O in more happy love, more happy happy love, and E sound in attic shape, fair attitude with breath. Rhyme scheme. The poet follows ABAB rhyme scheme and ending with a Miltonic session. First and fifth stanza CDE, DCE, second stanza CDE, CED, and third, fourth stanza CDE, CDE.